All right, for those of you listening at home, hi, Jana. Yeah, you can thank Polly for this. I went into total spaz mode here. This is pretty much a review
It's been
so
about 30
far
minutes.
of my, it's something like that. This is largely a review of the last 2 days. This is just the master unit circle with all the common angles on it. We're reviewing what it means to be sine or cosine or tangent on the unit circle. Sine is how high up it is. And again, we went through a proof of that last week. I'll do a quick demo proof a little later. But for right now, take it on faith. Sine of theta is how high you are. Can somebody tell me the sine of 150 degrees? And remember, sine means the exact same thing as height on the unit circle. Go on that. How do you get over 1/2?
Well, because it's the same height as 30, and since it's up, it's positive still.
Right, let's go back to the beginning. If sine is height, does it make sense that the sine of 30 would be the same as the sine of 150 because they're on the same level? That's what I'm talking about. So if you can get the sine of 30, you get another one for free. The sine of 30 is a certain amount up. We found out it's 1/2 space up. That must be true over here too. We can now get the sine of 150 degrees, even though right triangle SOHCAHTOA will not work, because it explodes the triangle. You can't have a 150-degree angle in a right triangle. Make sense of that? Multiples of 45. Review them for me. How many options do we have for sine and cosine multiples of 45? No. That's it. Plus or minus radical 2 over 2. And just as a reminder, radical 2 over 2 actually came from 1 over radical 2. Because that came from the 45, 45, 90 triangle. Can somebody give me the size of the 45, 45, 90? So it is radical 2. And if you get stuck, do the Pythagorean theorem. 1 squared plus 1 squared will give you 2. And the square root of 2 is that. Over so far? Let's try that again in English. All right so far? That's nasty. It's rubbing in my lips. So, if I want to get the sine, have you look up here just visually? If I want the sine of 45, sine is opposite of our hypotenuse, right? So you do 1 over radical 2. Ta-da. If you get the radical out of the basement, it's radical 2 over 2. Cosine is the other 1 over radical 2. No matter which way you slice it, you just get radical 2 over 2 for sine or cosine. That's the only option ever. Can somebody tell me the tangent option? Michael. For multiples of 45, what are the options for tangent? That's it. 1 or negative 1. Because the slope, otherwise known as opposite of or adjacent, 1 over 1. That's it. Can somebody cover the multiples of 90? Polly, help me out here. What are the options for sine and cosine? Multiples of 90. Huh? Correct. Look at sine. Sine is height. The highest you can ever go is 1, because it's a unit circle with a radius of 1. You could also have a height of 0, or you could have a height of negative 1. Multiples of 90 would either be the right, top, left, or bottom. So the only options you have are negative 1, 0, or 1. Jack Blau, what are the options for slope? Multiple of 90.
0 or undefined.
0 or undefined. Basically 0 or divide by 0. Tangent is slope. If you're going to 0 degrees, it's flat, tangent of 0. If you're going straight up and down, tangent is undefined, you don't have a slope. It's got to be rise over rise, dividing by 0. So be clear on that. Put on your thinking caps. We're going to try quizzing again. I'm going to go individually with individual people. I will give you I will call out sine or cosine or tangent. If you tell me what it I'll give you one refresher course. Sine is up, down. So if you go up, sine is positive. If you go down, sine is negative. Cosine, you tell me, Julia Sishan. What if you go to the left? What happens to cosine? Negative. How about to the right? Positive. How about dead center? 0. Okay. What about tangent? 8. What if the tangent is in quadrant 1? Positive. What about quadrant 2? Quadrant 3? Positive. Quadrant 4? Yeah. See how that works? Those are your options. You can find out plus or minus in your head. Michael, you're going to start us off. I will go around the circle. I'm going to switch. I'm going to do 0, then 30, then 45, then 60, then 90. So I'm going to be swapping back and forth between 30 multiples, 45 multiples, and 90 multiples. So you'll be able to predict what angle comes next, and maybe you can forecast. And then the next time around, I'm going to pick them completely random. So, Mike, I'm going to ask you for 3 things: the sine, the cosine, and the tangent. That's 0. What's the sine?
The sine is 0.
0. What's the cosine?
Cosine is 0.
That's it. What is cosine again? On the unit circle?
Left or right?
Left, right. Is it left or right? Remember, here's the center.
Up. So it's right.
How far?
1.
1. What's the cosine of 0?
1.
1. So the sine of 0 is 0. Cosine of 0 is 1. What's the tangent there? Oops, sorry.
The tangent is 0.
The tangent is slope, which is 0. Okay. Jack, sine,
That is 1/2.
1/2. What's the cosine?
Radical 3 over 2.
Yeah, because you notice the 30 and the 60. Cosine, you can go over a little or over a lot. You can go over a little or over a lot. So what's the cosine again?
Radical 3 over 2.
And what's the tangent there?
That is radical 3 over 3.
Correct. There are 2 different slopes: small positive, big positive. Small positive, big positive. All right. I almost called it. Never mind. That would have been totally fun, but
All on one.
no, go for it.
Radical 2 over 2.
Radical 2 over 2 for sine,
And for cosine.
and for cosine, tangent.
Tangent is positive.
Tangent is positive 1. Next. Julie Sishon, sine for 60. Good. Radical 3 over 2 because it's positive a lot. Cosine? 1/2 because it's positive to the right a little. And tangent? Just radical 3. Correct. Positive because it's big. All right. Want to try one? Okay. What does sine mean in the circle again? Up, down. How far up, down is it at 90? If this is a radius of 1. What's that? 1. The sine of 90 is 1. What's the cosine there? 0. It is not anywhere. And what is the tangent? What's the slope straight up and down? This is 0. Here's a hint. How do you do slope just in general? Rise over run. Go from the center to here. What's the rise? 1. What's the run? What's 1 divided by 0? What happens when you divide by 0? I don't need it. It explodes. So basically, undefined. So sine is the height. It's 1. Cosine is how far over, when it is 0. And the tangent doesn't exist. It's actually infinite. We can't measure it. 1 divided by 0 explodes. Next. 120. Holly. Sine. Positive radical 3 over 2 because it's up a lot. Cosine. Positive or negative, first of all? Yeah, cosine is how far left, right. 120 is to the left. A lot or a little? A little. How much is it? That's for tangent. One of these two. Yeah. Positive or negative? Yeah. So the cosine of 120 is negative 1/2. Is 1/2 to the left or radical 3 over 2 to the left. The multiples of 30 will always obey these two fractions, 1/2 and radical 3 over 2. And again, the more you can memorize that, the quicker these go. What's the tangent here? Positive or negative? A lot or a little? Yeah, so what is it? Nice. Negative radical 3. Sophie, you're on. Sine 135. Radical 2 over 2, which is the only one for 45. What's the cosine there? Negative radical 2 over 2. What's the slope there, or the tangent? Negative 1. Yeah, the 45 and the 135, multiples of 45 have a very nice slope. It's either 1 or negative 1. They're called perfect diagonals. B, 150, sine. One half. Good. What's the cosine? Is it positive or negative? Negative. Negative what? Good. Negative radical 3 over 2. It's the bigger one of sine and cosine, multiples of 30. What's the tangent there? Positive or negative? A lot or a little? A little. What is it? Yeah, what kind? Positive or negative? Good. Negative radical 3 over 3. Did we catch an object? Let's randomize. I'm going to just ask you to just do, I'll do nothing but sine, but I will pick random spots, random multiples. So I'll stick with the multiples of 30 the first time around, but I'm going to go fast. You will have 5 seconds. Good luck. I will skip the multiples of 90. I will skip the multiples of 45. All you have to do is focus on sine or cosine, and I'm just going to do sine, just for now, just so we can go nice and fast. Sine is height. So in other words, the height here, 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 or here. Would be one of those 8. There we go. Michael, give me the sine here.
Negative radical 3 over 2.
Next. Negative radical 3 over 2. Jack, sine.
1/2.
1/2. Noah. Surprise. Pete. Radical 3 over 2. Sophie. Negative 1/2. Julie Sushant. Negative 1/2. Julie Miller. Negative radical 3 over 2. Polly. 1/2. Catch that? No. Let me know if you want to give me one. You want to try one? All right, that's fair. Switch to cosine. I'm only going to do multiples of 30. Remember, cosine is how far left or right you are. It'll be either 60 or 30. 60 is over a little, 30 is over a lot. Again, over a little, over a lot. Make sense? Let's see how much I can scramble this up. What geometric patterns can I do here? These are cosine. Polly. That's sine. 1/2. It's over a little bit to the right. Julie Sushant. Cosine. Negative 1/2. Jack Blau. Cosine.
That is 1/2.
1/2. Michael. Radical 3 over 2. Pete. Negative radical 3 over 2. Sophie. Negative 1/2. Julie Miller. Cosine. Nice. And who does this? Oh, no. I'm going to give you cosecant. Go ahead. 1/2. Make sense? Tangent. I'll do multiples of 30. We ready? I'll do it in a predictable order this time, I think. Yeah, why not? Follow your eye. Tangent. Radical 3 over 3. Sophie, tangent. Radical 3. Pete, tangent. Say it.
Negative radical,
Why do you say that?
because it's on up and it's
Right, it's down a lot. It's a lot negative. So it's negative radical 3. No. Tangent.
Negative radical 2 over 2.
Negative radical 3 over what?
3.
Over 3. Right. It is easy to get these mixed up. Radical 3 over 2, radical 3 over 3. Radical 3 over 3 is exclusively tangent. Alrighty, Delisishan. Tangent. Good. It's going uphill. Radical 3 over 3. Dylan, what? Tangent. This is always positive or negative. What does tangent on the unit circle? Slope. So does this look like it's sloping positive or negative? If you read from left to right.
Positive.
It's going uphill. Is it going uphill a lot or a little? Compare it to 30. A lot. So which of these two do you think it is? Radical 3. Correct. This is radical 3. This is radical 3 over 3, which is smaller.
Okay, I get it.
Okay. And where did we go? That's not it. Okay. Tangent. Negative radical 3. What did I miss? Michael. Slope.
radical 3 over 3.
Almost.
What? Oh, I messed up, bro. So, negative
Negative what?
radical 3.
Negative radical 3 over 3. Did I not get it? Okay. Oh, sure. Cotangent.
Radical 3.
How'd you get that?
It's 3, radical 3 over 3, then you have 3 over radical 3, but you get left that, so it's radical.
Correct. Nice. Well done. Everybody catching on? Now, shift gears. Multiples of 45. This will be nothing but multiples of 45. It goes faster. You do have different fractions, but there are fewer of them. So, let me see. Michael, sine.
Radical 2 over 2.
Radical 2 over 2. Jack, sine.
Radical 2 over 2.
Okay. Noah, sine.
Negative radical 2 over 2.
Yeah. Julie Sushon, sine. Negative radical 2 over 2. Julia Miller, sine. Nice. Sine. Oh, yes. Sine. Toby. Yes. Sine. Pete. Excellent. Now, cosine.
Jonna.
Yeah, John. I'm waiting. Kidding. Okay. So call in your answer when you get a chance. So cosine. Let me see. Start. Pete. Cosine. Radical 2 over 2. Julie Miller. Cosine.
Negative
That'd be sine. Cosine is up all over. Radical 2 over 2. Julie Sushon. Cosine. Yes. Jack Blau. Cosine.
Negative radical 2 over 2.
Okay. Who did I miss? Sophie. Cosine. Okay. Who didn't get one? Okay, no. Cosine. Radical 2 over 2. Tangent. I want you all to work in one big chorus this time, because these are relatively fast. Tangent. 1. Negative 1. 1. Negative 1. Do you see why? Slope of 1 hits the 45 and the 225. Slope of negative 1 hits the 135 and 315. Ta-da. Catching up? Now, multiples of 90. Mike, I want you to give me the sine and the cosine of the tangent. Sine,
Is
1. Cosine,
is
0. Tangent,
undefined.
undefined. Jack, sine,
That is negative one. I mean 0.
0. Cosine,
That's negative.
-1. Tangent,
0.
0. Jyotishan, sine, cosine, yeah, tangent. Nice. Noah,
So.
cosecant.
Oh, cosecant. So that's still just, 0.
Sine is 0. What happens when you flip 0 upside down?
Undefined.
Okay. Exactly, very good. Yeah, go. Secant. Go ahead and talk it through.
1.
Is what?
1.
It's the reciprocal of 1, or says 1. What about the cotangent? What's the slope here, first of all?
The slope is 0.
What's the reciprocal of that?
Undefined.
The cotangent is undefined. So if the book asks, or the worksheet asks you for these weird cosecant, secant, cotangent, we should be all set, right? Now, the worksheet I'm giving you today is going to go backwards. I am thinking of a mystery angle. I'm thinking of a mystery angle whose sine is 1/2. There are actually 2 angles that fit that bill. And you know, let's go. 3150. You're done. You put theta equals 30, theta equals 150 degrees, of course. Done. I am thinking of a mystery angle whose tangent is negative radical 3 over 3. Negative radical 3 over 3. Michael, go for it. What angles am I thinking of? There are actually 2.
Negative radical 3 over 3.
Negative radical 3 over 3 is slope. Tangent. Remember. Which angles do that? Are you looking for an uphill slope or a downhill slope?
Down,
Downhill. A lot or a little?
a little.
A little. Multiple of 30 or 45 or 90?
It's 30, so 330 is 10.
330 is one of them. What's the other one?
Oh. 150.
150. See that? Do you think you can do this? All right. The worksheet is not that one. Oh, there you are. What I would like you to do is I would like you to do half of this worksheet for tomorrow. Oh, that's true. I would like you to do half of this for tomorrow, just 1 through 10. We'll go to 20.
So then work on Friday. You just finish this then?
Correct. On Friday, you're gonna finish it for Monday. Yeah. Anybody else miss their? Did I miss anybody? Okay. So again, for those of you listening at home, hi John. The 7B we checked off today. The 7C, we just want to do 1 through 10. Problems 11 and 12 at the bottom of the front page do not do yet. You can do them if you want, but it takes a little bit of algebra trickery, so don't do it yet. I haven't shown you how yet. So just 1 through 10. That should be the stuff we were doing up here. Those are all common angles. Most of them will give you 2 solutions. A few of them are weird, they only give you 1. I'll let you explore those. And then 11 through 20 we'll be doing Monday. Go to it, you got about 5 minutes? Call me if you get stuck. And lovely seeing you even virtually, Gianna. Take care, and once the Wi-Fi gets fast, I'll post this.